Hey fellow smokers, so today we're going to be making a rack of lamb. So before we get too far into this, I got this one from Costco. It was about 24 bucks, not too bad. But I want you to come in here and really get a close up and look at that marbling in there. I mean, that is just beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get our binder. I'm using some olive oil, extra virgin, and we're just going to pour a little bit of that on the top, drizzle around now, and then we're going to rub it in. We're going to rub it in, and you know what we're rubbing it in for? In preparation for a rub. Would you believe that? Alright, so now we're going to get that turned over, and we're going to oil. Ooh, came out a little fast there. We're going to oil that side. We can set that aside. Now we're going to rub it in. Got a little bit much on there, but that's okay. It'll get all rubbed around. So, now that we got our oily mess there, I might have used a little bit too much. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get our pre-measured out seasoning, our rub mix. So, alright, picking back up where we left off. We're just going to get our pre-measured out seasoning. And this is my own little mix of special herbs, blends, spices, whatever you may have it. We're going to mix that in. So now we're going to rub that all around. And we want to get a nice even layer. You don't want to smother it, but you want to make sure you know it's there. So you get that nice and even. Now, this being lamb, we're going to treat it a little bit like cow. You don't want to have too many sugars in it, so you want to keep it nice and think of it very lean. Alright? You don't want to have too much sugar. Now you want to make sure you get that all around there. So if you get a little bit extra, you know, rub that in on the side. But you want to make sure you put it everywhere. Rub it in. Really get in there, in between the bone. Now you might not think of it, but the bone's yummy. You're gonna want to numb on that later. You got little kids, give them the bone. They'll numb on it. Very yummy. So now we're gonna flip that over and we're gonna do the other side. Sprinkle that on, nice and somewhat even. Doesn't have to be perfect, just, you know, do your best. And we're gonna rub that in. You wanna get it nice and even, nice and even. Make sure you get everywhere. Don't forget the sides. Now you want to make sure even on the bone. Get it nice and even, nice and even. And once you get that on there, what we're going to do is we're going to just place this directly onto the heat. So what we're going to do is we have that currently preheated to 225. And I already have some meat on there, so it's going to have a little bit of company. But what we're going to do is we're not going to wrap this at all. What we're going to do is we're just going to drop this straight on the smoker. Alright, so today what we're doing is we're cooking on our Pit Boss competition series. And as you can see here, I got it set at a target 225. It's at about 220 right now. So we're going to go ahead and set that in there next to our undermeat. And you want to have the really meaty part of it close to your hot spot as you can. So what we're going to do is we're just going to close that up, let it sit nice and easy. And you want to put that in there with the fat side up. So that way all the fat, all that rich goodness is going to be able to soak in there and really give it the flavor that you're looking for. Alright, we're back here with the rack of lamb. Now if you look at this, we had that cooking for about approximately 1 hour. That was at 225 for 40 minutes. And then at 40 minutes, we went ahead and bumped that smoker up to 375 to really get that char on it. So that allowed a little bit of crispness there. And now let's listen to that again. Let's just listen to that all together now, shall we? Now that's a lot I like to hear. So what we're gonna do, and also just look at that backside, look at that beautiful smoke. So let's go ahead, with no further ado, let's cut this open. Ooh, would you listen to that juiciness? Ooh, that is juicy. Just slides right through. If I can find where the bone is not. Oh my. I have struck bone. Ah, that's why. Once you get around the bone, let's take a dive into this. Ooh, I butchered that cut, but let's look at that. That is beautiful and pink and absolutely just delicious looking. Wow. I can't talk today, but that is a juicy piece of meat. All right. Okay. All right, now let's cut one more piece off. Now let's go ahead and just take a good old bite, see how it is. That is tender. Alright. I'm gonna get nasty here now.